Tabarakamalam Shigurun Vaishnavam Sya Shirupam Sagrajatam Saganaraganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shirana Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishakam Vitam Sya Om Jnana Timrandasya Gyanachana Shalakya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasma Shigurave Namah Gaurva Bhistam Supurakam Gurganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samastaveda Nipanam Shirupa Patanugam Govindabhidam Ujwalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Bande Vishwagurun Shah Divyat Bhagavat Premno Ibijapradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandavaranam Balarka Chilanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadekavaranam Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Shri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Banditam Shubharam Mareka Sharanam Nyashishvara Shidharam Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishna das Kaviraj Goswami. Translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And this is the Madhya-lila chapter 2, the ecstatic manifestations of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this chapter, the author describes the pastimes the Lord performed during the last 12 years of his life. Thus, he has also described some of the pastimes of the Antya-lila. Why he has done so is very difficult for an ordinary person to understand. The author expects that reading the pastimes of the Lord will gradually help a person awaken his dormant love of Krishna. Actually, this Chaitanya Charitamrita was compiled by the author during very old age. Fearing he might not be able to finish the chapter, fearing he might not be able to finish the book, he has included a synopsis of the Antya-lila here in the second chapter. Srila Kaviraj Goswami has confirmed that the opinion of Swarup Damodar is authoritative in the matter of devotional service. Over and above this are the notes of Swarup Damodar, memorized by Raghunath Das Goswami, who also helped in the compilation of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. After the disappearance of Swarup Damodar, Raghunath Das Goswami went to Vrindavan. At that time, the author, Srila Kaviraj Goswami, met Raghunath Das Goswami, by whose mercy he also could memorize all the notes. In this way, the author was able to complete the transcendental literature, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, text number 1. Vichedesmin Prabhurantya-lila sutra nubharnane Gorasya Krishna vicheda pralapadi anuvarnyate. While relating in synopsis form the last division of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in this chapter I shall describe the Lord's transcendental ecstasy, which appears like madness due to his separation from Krishna. In this second chapter, the activities of Lord Chaitanya that took place after the Lord accepted sannyas are generally described. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is specifically mentioned here as being Gora, or of fair complexion. Krishna is generally known to be blackish, but when he is absorbed in the thoughts of the gopis, who are all of fair complexion, Krishna himself also becomes fair. Well, actually, we'll say when he is absorbed in the mood of Srimati Radharani, who is of golden complexion, Krishna himself also becomes fair, or Gora, golden. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in particular felt separation from Krishna very deeply, exactly like a lover who is dejected in separation from the beloved. Such feelings, which were expressed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for nearly 12 years at the end of his pastimes, are described in brief in this chapter, in this second chapter of the Madhya-lila. So this is the point we want to hear, that this is a summary of Mahaprabhu's last pastimes during the last 12 years when he was present in Jagannath Puri. And the author, Krishna das Kaviraj, is specifically putting it here in sutra form, which is verses, poetic verses, which are giving a resume or a summary of Mahaprabhu's last pastimes. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Sri Advaita Chandra, and all glories to all the devotees of the Lord. Sesha Jai Rohila Prabhu Dwadasha Batsar Krishna Yoga Swarte Hoy Nirantar. During his last 12 years, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always manifested all the symptoms of ecstasy and separation from Krishna. Shri Radhikara Cheshta Jena Udaba Darshane Emata Dasha Prabhu Hoy Ratri Dine. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's state of mind, day and night, was practically identical to Radharani's state of mind when Uddhava came to Vrindavan to see the gopis. So this is Mahaprabhu's serving mood of serving in separation. The Mayavadis, they want to bring Krishna, Radha Krishna Lila down to this plane of gross material plane. But Mahaprabhu is showing a mood of separation. He is not showing that imitation form of the Sahajas. He's always thinking of Krishna in separation, the mood of Radharani, when Uddhava was sent by Krishna to go to Vrindavan, and there he met with Radharani and all the gopis and the residents of Vrindavan, and he could see their mood of separation. And it was a message. He was a messenger from Krishna, but he was astonished to see how Radharani in particular and all the residents of Vrindavan were always engaged in activities in remembrance of Krishna or separation from Krishna. Nirantara hoy prabhur viraha unmad brahmamoy cheshtasara pralapa mayabad. The Lord constantly exhibited a state of mind rejecting the Lord constantly exhibited a state of mind reflecting the madness of separation. All his activities were based on forgetfulness, and his talks were always based on madness. Roma kupe raktogama danta sabkale. Roma kupe raktogama danta sabhale. Kane anga kinahoy, kane anga fule. Blood flowed from all the pores of his body, and all his teeth were loosened. At one moment, his whole body became slender, and at another moment, his whole body became fat. Gambira bitare ratri nahe nidra labha, bite mukha shirigashe kata hoy sab. The small room beyond the corridor is called the Gambir. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to stay in that room, but he did not sleep for a moment. All night he used to grind his mouth and head on the wall, and his face sustained injuries all over. So that inner chamber, that's the Gambir, and that's what's referred to in Mahaprabhu's later pastimes are taking place mostly in that Gambir. Tina dware kapata prabhu jajena bahire. Kabu sima dware pare kabu sindhu nire. Although the three doors of the house were always closed, the Lord would nonetheless go out and sometimes would be found at the Jagannath temple before the gate known as Simadwara, and sometimes the Lord would fall flat into the sea. Chataka Parvata Deki Govardhana Brahme Dana Chale Artanad Korea Krandane. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would also run very fast across the sand dunes, mistaking them for Govardhan. As he ran, he would wail and cry loudly. Because of the winds of the sea, sometimes the sand would form dunes. Such sand dunes are called Chatak Parvat. Instead of seeing Those sand dunes simply as hills of sand. The Lord would take them to be Govardhan Hill. Sometimes he would run towards these dunes at high speed, crying very loudly, expressing the state of mind exhibited by Radharani. Thus, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was absorbed in thoughts of Krishna and his pastimes. His state of mind brought him the atmosphere of Vrindavan and Govardhan Hill, and thus he enjoyed the transcendental bliss of separation and meeting. The meeting is through intense separation. It brings him to the point of experiencing Krishna's presence. Upavan jnana dekhi brindavana gyan tahanjai nache gai ghane murcha jan. Sometimes Mahaprabhu mistook the small parks of the city for Vrindavan. Sometimes he would go there, dance and chant, and sometimes fall unconscious in spiritual ecstasy. Kahan nahi shuni jay bhavera bikar se bhava hoy prabhur sharire prachar. The extraordinary transformations of the body due to transcendental feelings would never have been possible for anyone but the Lord, in whose body all transformations were manifested. The ecstatic transformations of the body described in such exalted literatures as the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu are practically not seen in this material world. However, these symptoms were perfectly present in the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These symptoms are indicative of Mahabhava, or the highest ecstasy. Sometimes sahajiyas artificially imitate these symptoms, but experienced devotees reject such imitations immediately. The author admits herein that these symptoms are not to be found anywhere but in the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hastapadara sandisam bitasti pramane sandichari binohoye charmarahi stane. The joints of his hands and legs would sometimes become separated by 8 inches, and they remained connected only by the skin. Hastapadashira sab sharira Bitare pravishta hoy korma rupa dekiye prabhure. Sometimes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's hands, legs, and head would all enter within his body, just like the withdrawn limbs of a tortoise. Ematad bhuta bhava sharire prakash manatesh shunjata bhakye ha hutas. In this way, Mahaprabhu used to manifest wonderful ecstatic symptoms. His mind appeared vacant, and there were only hopelessness and disappointment in his words. Kahan mora prananad murali badan, kahan garun, kahan pan, Brajendra nandan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to express his mind in this way: where is the Lord of my life who is playing his flute? What shall I do now? Where shall I go to find the son of Maharaj Nanda? Kahire Kahiba Keba Jane Moraduk Brajendra Bandana Brajendra Nandana Binu Fate Morabuk. To whom should I speak? Who can understand my disappointment? Without the son of Nanda Maharaj, my heart is broken. Emata Vilapa Kore Bibala Antar Rayara Nataka Shlok Pare Nirantar. In this way, Mahaprabhu always expressed bewilderment and lamented in separation from Krishna. At such times, he used to recite the shlokas from Sri Ramananda Roy's drama known as Jagannath Vallabha Natika. Premacheda Rujo Vagachati Harir Nayam Nacha Premava Stanastanam Avaiti Napi Marano Janati no durbala anyo vedana chanya dukam akilam no jivanam vashravam dvitrani eva dinani yovanam idam haha vide kagati. Srimati Radharani used to lament, our Krishna does not realize what we have suffered from injuries inflicted in the course of loving affairs. We're actually misused by love because love does not know where to strike and where not to strike. Even Cupid does not know of our very much weakened condition. What shall I tell anyone? No one can understand another's difficulties. Our life is actually not under our control, for youth will remain for 2 or 3 days and soon be finished. In this conditional creator, what will be our destination? Upajila premankura bangila jay dukkha pura Krishna taha nahi kare. Hey.
That's him. It's not me, that's him. Whatever. No,
Huh?
he was making a sound.
Yeah, I'm saying.
What sound?
You were snoring.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I was listening to her.
Well, then a ghost is here who is snoring. Upajila premankur bhangila jay dukapur Krishna daha nahi korepan bahire nagara raj bitare shaterakaj paranari bade sabadan. Srimati Radharani spoke thus in distress due to separation from Krishna. Oh, what shall I say of my distress? After I met Krishna, my loving propensity sprouted, but upon separating from him, I sustained a great shock, which is now continuing like the sufferings of a disease. The only physician for this disease is Krishna himself. But he is not taking care of this sprouting plant of devotional service. What shall I say about the behavior of Krishna? Outwardly, he is a very attractive young lover, but at heart, he is a great cheat, very expert in killing others' wives. Saki he na bujiye bidhera bidan sukalage koilun prita hoila duka biparita ebe jai narahe paran. Srimati Radharani continued lamenting about the consequences of loving Krishna. My dear friend, I do not understand the regulative principles given by the Creator. I love Krishna for happiness, but the result was just the opposite. I am now in an ocean of distress. It must be that I'm going to die, for my vital force no longer remains. This is my state of mind. Kutila prema agejan nahijane stanastan balo manda nare bicharite kurash Shatera guna dore hate gale bandi more rakijache nare ukashite. By nature, loving affairs are very crooked. They are not entered with sufficient knowledge, nor do they consider whether a place is suitable or not, nor do they look forward to the results. By the ropes of his good qualities, Krishna, who is so unkind, has bound my neck and hands, and I am unable to get relief. Jai Madana Tanuhin Paradrohe Paravin Panchabana Sunday Anukan Abalara Sharire Bindi Koila Jarajare Dukadeya Naloi Jivan. In my loving affairs, there is a person named Madan. His qualities are thus. Personally, he possesses no gross body, yet he is very expert in giving pain to others. He has five arrows, and fixing them on his bow, he shoots them into the bodies of innocent women. Thus these women become invalids. It would be better if he took my life without hesitation, but he does not do so. He simply gives me pain. Anjara jay dukamane anyetaha nahijane satya e shastara bichare anya jan kahan liki najanaye pranasaki jate kohe darya daribare. In the scriptures it is said that one person can never know the unhappiness in the mind of another. Therefore, what can I say of my dear friends, Lalita and the others? Nor can they understand the unhappiness within me. They simply try to console me, repeatedly saying, "Dear friend, be patient." Krishna Kripa Parabar Kabul Koribena Angikar Sakitora E Vyarta Bachan Jivera Jivana Chansha Jena Padma Patraraja Tatadina Jibe Konjan. I say, my dear friends, you were asking me to be patient, saying that Krishna is an ocean of mercy, and that sometime in the future he will accept me. However, I must say that this will not console me. A living entity's life is very flickering. It is like water on the leaf of a lotus flower. Who will live long enough to expect Krishna's mercy? Shatabatsara Parjanta Jivara Jivanamba Anta Ebakya Kohana Bichari Narira Jovanadan Jare Krishna Koreman Se Jovana Dina Duichari. A human being does not live more than 100 years. You should also consider that the youthfulness of a woman, which is the only attraction for Krishna, remains for only a few days. Agnijai Nijadama Dekaya Abhirama Patangiri Akarshya Mare Krishnai Nijagun Dekaya Hariman Pacheduka Samudrete Dare. If you say that Krishna's notion of divine qualities and therefore must be merciful someday, I can only say that he is like fire which attracts moths by his dazzling brightness and kills them. Such are the qualities of Krishna. By showing us his transcendental qualities, he attracts our minds, and then later, by separating from us, he drowns us in an ocean of unhappiness. Eteka vilapa kori vishade shrigorahare udgadiya dukera kapata bhavera taranga bole nana rupe amanachale ara egg shloka koila pata. In this way, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lamented in a great ocean of sadness, and thus he opened the doors of his unhappiness. Forced by the waves of ecstasy, his mind wandered over transcendental in different kinds of rasas, different transcendental mellows, and he recited another verse as follows. So what's being described here, actually Mahaprabhu in his last years, what he's displaying in separation from Krishna is very deep madness. He's speaking like a madman. And that's what's being described here. But that madness is reflective of Srimati Radharani. When Uddhava came to visit in Vrindavan, which is her dominant mood, when Uddhava came to visit Vrindavan, then Radharani was speaking to a bumblebee and had a whole conversation with the bumblebee. And it was madness. She addressed the bumblebee as being like Uddhava and being like Krishna also. She called the bumblebee the unworthy messenger or the unworthy servant of an unworthy master. And she spoke like this. Shri Krishna Rupade Nishevanam Bina Vyartani Me Hani Akilendriyanyalam Pashana Sukendana Barakan Aho Bibarmi Vatani Katam Hatatrapa. My dear friends, unless I serve the transcendental form, qualities, and pastimes of Shri Krishna, all my days and all my senses will become entirely useless. Now I am uselessly bearing the burden of my senses, which are like stone blocks and dried wood. I do not know how long I will be able to continue without shame. Vamshi Ganamrita Dham Lavanyamrita Janmastan Jaina Deki Se Chandabadan Se Nayane Kibakaj Paduka Taramundebaj Se Nayana Rahe Kikaran. Of what use are the eyes of one who does not see the face of Krishna, which resembles the moon and is the birthplace of all beauty and the reservoir of the nectarian songs of his flute? Oh, let a thunderbolt strike one's head. Why should one keep such eyes? The moonlight face of Krishna is the reservoir of nectarian songs and the abode of his flute. It is also the root of all bodily beauty. The gopis think that if their eyes are not engaged in seeing the beautiful face of Krishna, it would be better for them to be struck by a thunderbolt, by lightning. For the gopis, to see anything but Krishna is uninteresting and indeed detestable. Gopis are never pleased to see anything but Krishna. The only solace for their eyes is the beautiful moonlight face of Krishna, the worshipful object of all senses. When they cannot see the beautiful face of Krishna, they actually see everything as vacant, and they desire to be struck by a thunderbolt. They do not find any reason to maintain their eyes when they are bereft of the beauty of Krishna. Saki he shuna morahata bidibal Mora bapu chitaman sakala indriyagan Krishna binu sakala bifal. My dear friends, please hear me. I have lost all providential strength. Without Krishna, my body, consciousness, and mind, as well as all my senses, are useless. Without Krishna, my body, consciousness, and mind, as well as all my senses, are useless. Krishnara madhurabani amritera tarangini tara pravesha nahi jai shravane kanakari chidrasam janiya se shravan tarajanma hoila karane. Topics about Krishna are like waves of nectar. If such nectar does not enter one's ear, the ear is no better than the hole of a damaged conch shell. Such an ear is created for no purpose. Krishnera Dharamrita, Krishna Guna Charita, Shudashara, Swara Binidan, Taraswara, Jaina Jane, Janmiyana, Moilokene, Serasana, Beka Jivasam. The nectar from the lips of Krishna and his transcendental qualities and characteristics surpass the taste of the essence of all nectar, and there is no fault in tasting such nectar. If one does not taste it, one should die immediately after birth, and one's tongue is to be considered no better than the tongue of a frog. That's from Bile Baturu Krama Vikramanye Na Shrinvata Karna Pute Narasha Jibasati Daduri Keva Sutta Nachopagayati Urugaya Gataha. And that's what that verse, that's what it means. If one does not taste the nectar from Krishna's lips, one should die immediately after birth, and one's tongue is to be considered no better than the tongue of a frog. Mrigumara Nilotpala Milane Jay Parimala Jay Hare Taragarvaman Hena Krishna Angaganda Jarana He Se Sambandha Se Nasha Bastrara Saman. One's nostrils are no better than the bellows of a blacksmith. If one has not smelled the fragrance of Krishna's body, which is like the aroma of musk combined with that of the bluish lotus flower. Indeed, such combinations are actually defeated by the aroma of Krishna's body. Krishna Kara Parata Koti Chandra Shushita Tarasparsha Jainasparsha Mani Tarasparsha Nahijar Se Jok Charakar Se Bapu Loha Samajani. The palms of Krishna's hands and the soles of his feet are so cool and pleasant that they can be compared only to the light of millions of moons. One who has touched such hands and feet has indeed tasted the effects of touchstone. If one has not touched them, one's life is spoiled and one's body is like iron. Kari Eta Vilapan Prabhu Sachinandan Udgadiya Hridayara Shok Doinya nirbeda bishade hridayera abasade punarapi pade ek shlok. Lamenting in this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu opened the doors of his grief within his heart. Morose, humble, and disappointed, he recited a verse again and again with a despondent heart. Jadajato daivan madhuripur aso lochana patam tadas mahakam sheto marana hatakenaritam abut punar yasminesha shanam api drishor eti parabim vida shamas tasmina kila gatika ratnagachita. If by chance the transcendental form of Krishna comes before the path of my vision, my heart, injured from being beaten, will be stolen away by Cupid, happiness personified. Because I could not see the beautiful form of Krishna to my heart's content, when I again see his form, I shall decorate the phases of time with many jewels. Jekaleva swapane dekinu pamshivarane sekale aila duibari ananda aramarana hari nila moraman dekitena painu netrabari. Whenever I had the chance to see Krishna's face and his flute, even in a dream, two enemies would appear before me. They were pleasure and Cupid, and since they took away my mind, I was not able to see the face of Krishna to the full satisfaction of my eyes. Punajade Konkan Karaya Krishna Darshan Tabise Gati Kanapa Diyamaya Chandana Nanaratna Abaran Alankrita Korimu Saka. If by chance such a moment comes when I can once again see Krishna, then I shall worship those seconds, moments, and hours with flower garlands and pulp of sandalwood and decorate them with all kinds of jewels and ornaments. So in this very poetic way, one time referring to these verses, one time we heard that devotee said to Srila Guru Maharaj, today is my birthday, but according to astrological calculation, it is the most inauspicious day of the year. Something like that said. And then Srila Guru Maharaj said, no, this day means you have finished, you completed another year in Krishna consciousness in the service of the Lord. So this day is very good, and you can decorate this day, these moments, with garlands, with flowers and jewels. So the devotee was saying it's his birthday, but the day is very inauspicious. And Srila Maharaj said, no, this day you can worship this day with and offer flowers, garlands, and jewels to this day. Kanibaya hoilaman agedeki duijan taripache amina chaitanya swapna praya ki dekinu kiba ami pralapinu tomarakichu shunija chadonya. In an instant, Mahaprabhu regained external consciousness and saw two persons before him. Questioning them, he asked, am I conscious? What dreams have I been seeing? What craziness have I spoken? Have you heard some expressions of humility? When Mahaprabhu thus spoke in ecstasy, he saw two persons before him. One was his secretary, Swarup Damodar, and the other was Rai Ramananda. Coming to his external consciousness, he saw them both present. And although he was still talking in the ecstasy of Srimati Radharani, he immediately began to question whether he was the same Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shunamor pranara bandhava nahi Krishna premadan daridramora jivan dehindriya Vritta Morasab. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, my dear friends, you are my life and soul. Therefore I tell you that I possess no wealth of love for Krishna. Consequently, my life is poverty-stricken. My limbs and senses are useless. Punakahe hoy, punakahe hai, shuna swarup ramarai, emora ridoy nisjoy, shunikoraha bichar hoy noy, kahusar etabole shloka ucharai. Again he addressed Swarup Damodar and Rai Ramananda, speaking despondently. Alas, my friends, you can now know the certainty within my heart. And after knowing my heart, you should judge whether I am correct or not. You can speak of this properly. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then began to chant another verse. Alas, my friends, you can now know the certainty within my heart, and after knowing my heart, you should judge whether I'm correct or not. So you can know with certainty what is going on in my heart. Koi avarahi am premam nahi hoy manushe loy joy hoy kasha virohe hontam ni ko joy. Love of God, devoid of cheating propensities, is not possible within this material world. If there is such a love, there cannot be separation. For if there is separation, how can one live? Koi avarahiam primam na I hoy manu sheloi joy hoy kasha virohe hantami ko jai. There's a verse in a common language called Prakrita, and the exact Sanskrit transformation is Kaitava Rahitam Prema Na I Bhavati Manushe Loke Jari Bhavati Kasya Virohe Virahe Satyapi Kojivati. So, why, you can say, why this verse in Prakrita? But that's the language that they spoke in Vrindavan. They spoke Prakrita. They didn't speak Sanskrit. They spoke Prakrita. This verse is quoted in Prakrita.
Is Rajabhumi even different?
Huh?
Rajabhumi?
I don't know. Maybe they're both the same. But Akaitava Krishna Prema Jena Jambu Nada Hema Se Prema Niloke Na Hoy Jadi Hoy Tara Joga Na Hoy Tabe Viyoga Viyoga Hoy Lake Kehana Ji. Rajabule, maybe that's the name of the language, and Prakrita maybe it's just a term, I don't know. Pure love for Krishna, just like gold from the Jambu River, does not exist in human society. If it existed, there could not be separation. If separation were there, one could not live. Pure love for Krishna, just like gold from the Jambu River, does not exist in human society. If it existed, there could not be separation. If separation were there, one could not live. Etago he sachi sutta shloka pari adbhuta shunedu he ekmana haya apana ridoya kaj kahite vashiye laj tabu kohe laja bijakana. Thus speaking, the son of Srimati Sachimata recited another wonderful verse, and Ramananda Roy and Swarup Damodar heard this verse with rapt attention. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I feel shameful to disclose the activities of my heart. Nonetheless, I shall be done with all formalities and speak from the heart. Please hear. Na prema gandosti durapi me haro Krandami Sobhagya Baram Prakashitum Vamshi Vilasi Anana Lokanam Bina Bibarmiyat prana patangakan vrita. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, my dear friends, I have not the slightest tinge of love of God within my heart. When you see me crying in separation, I am just falsely exhibiting a demonstration of my great fortune. Indeed, not seeing the beautiful face of Krishna playing his flute, I continue to live my life like an insect without purpose. So this is important. I remember one time Srila Govinda Maharaj was speaking, and he said, he was referring to these verses when he said that naturally one will feel that I am a fallen, what can you say? I'm a fallen soul. I am fallen. That will be the natural feelings of a devotee, that I'm a fallen soul. And he said, so Govinda Maharaj said, but I am given this position of being acharya by Srila Guru Maharaj. And if I say I'm a fallen soul, then that I am fallen, then people will say, you see, he is admitting that himself, that he is a fallen soul. He said, so if he's the acharya and he says that, it must be true. So he said, and then they will say, I'm not qualified. So he says, I cannot say that out of deference, out of respect for Srila Guru Maharaj, who has given me this position. I cannot say I'm a fallen soul. So he said, I will say something to the effect, I was a bad boy, but Guru Maharaj made me a good boy. Mm-hmm. He said, I will speak like that. But he said, because people don't actually understand Mahaprabhu's actual mood or his philosophy or the philosophy of the devotees. He said, even Mahaprabhu said, like in this verse, na prema gandosti durapi meharo krandami sobhagya baram prakashitum vamshi vilasi anana lokanam vina vibarmi yat prana patangakan vrita. Mahaprabhu said, my dear friends, I have not the slightest tinge of love of God within my heart. When you see me crying in separation, I am just falsely exhibiting a demonstration of my great fortune. He's saying, this is all theater. I'm just showing this. Indeed, not seeing the beautiful face of Krishna playing his flute, I continue to live my life like an insect without purpose. So he's saying, I don't really have any love of Godhead because I'm just living my life bathing and sleeping and doing all these things out of habit, like an insect. But he says, if I had any real love of Krishna, I wouldn't be alive. I would have died of separation. So Mahaprabhu is saying, I have no love for Krishna. And the proof is that I'm still alive. So that's Mahaprabhu's mood. And what to speak of a devotee? Any devotee will not feel that I'm a Mahabhagavata, I'm an exalted soul. Anyone who says like that should be avoided. They're sahajya. Yes?
Earlier, Maharaj, you were reading about, it said, Jambu River or something like that?
Gold from the Jambu River and the heavenly planets. It doesn't exist in society.
All right,
Okay. That gold is not existing. So Mahaprabhu is saying, there is no love of Krishna, and one does not have love of Krishna in this world, because if one actually had love of Krishna, one would have died a long time ago. That's his point. So he's saying, I don't have any love of Krishna, and Guru Maharaj explains, the natural feeling of a devotee is not to think that I'm an exalted soul, but to think I'm a fallen soul. Even we hear Krishnadas Kaviraj, he says, like that, he says, I am completely contaminated. Anyone who says my name loses all their pious activities. And Haridas Thakur, he speaks like that too. But Guru Maharaj said, but Srila Govinda Maharaj said, but I can't speak like that because Guru Maharaj has gave me this position, and if I say I am unworthy, I'm fallen, then it reflects badly on Guru Maharaj. So he says, I will not speak like that. But he said, that's because people don't understand what is the natural feeling of even Mahaprabhu, who's showing the mood of a devotee. He's showing that mood. You know. What's the verse that says, from Sikshastika, that says, from Sikshastika that says, Krishna, I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death, and I do not find any way out of here. What is that? Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patita mam vishame bhavambudo tavapada kripava pankaja stita duli sadrisham vichintaya. He's saying, Ainanda tanuja kinkaram. Mahaprabhu is speaking to Krishna. He's not calling himself the Lord. He's saying, my dear Lord, I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death, and I don't find any way out of this. Only if you lift me out of this ocean and fix me as a particle of dust at your lotus feet can I get out of this ocean. But, you know, that's Mahaprabhu is saying that. He's saying, Ayinanda tanuja kinkaram vishame bhavambudo. He's saying, oh Krishna, I have fallen into this ocean, and I'm drowning in this material ocean. Only if you lift me out of it can I be saved. That's the feeling of a devotee. A devotee is not feeling that, oh, I'm an exalted soul. You know, but I actually hear people say, and I talked one time with, you know, that people were saying, oh, this person's a Rasika Bhakta, and this person's a Rasika Bhakta. And that's like, this shows that they're all Sahajas. They're all Sahajas, all these people, talking like that. The only person it mentions who's a Rasika Bhakta is Ramananda Roy. We don't hear other people referred to like that. But it's very common among Westerners in certain sections of society, in touch with certain classes of persons, who, you know, and certain gurus, they talk like that. So that's all Sahajya Kata. They think of themselves and others as very exalted. Dure Shuddha Prema Ganda Kapata Primera Banda Seho Mora Nahe Krishna Pai Tabes Je Kore Krandan Swasobhagya Prakyapana Kori Iha Janiya Nisjoy. Actually, my love for Krishna is far, far away. Whatever I do is actually an exhibition of pseudo-love of Godhead. When you see me cry, I'm simply falsely demonstrating my great fortune. I'm just play acting. Please try to understand this beyond a doubt. Jati Vamshi Dwani Sug Nadeki Se Chandamuk Jajapi Nahika Alamban Nijadehi Kori Priti Kebula Kamera Riti Prana Kitera Koriye Daran. Even though I do not see the moonlight face of Krishna as he plays on his flute, and although there is no possibility of my meeting him, I take care of my own body. This is the way of lust. In this way I maintain my fly-like life. Krishna prema sunirma jina shuddha gangaja se premamritera sindhu nirmala se anurage na lukaya anyadage shuka bastre jaiche mashi bindu. Love for Krishna is very pure, just like the waters of the Ganges. That love is an ocean of nectar. That pure attachment to Krishna does not conceal any spot, which would appear just like a spot of ink on a white cloth. Shuddha prema sukha sindhu paitara ek bindu se bindu jagat dubai kahi bara jogya jai kahi bara jogya nai tatapi bole koi kahi len ba keba pati jai. Unalloyed love of Krishna is like an ocean of happiness. If someone gets one drop of it, the whole world can drown in that drop. It is not befitting to express such love of Godhead, yet a madman must speak. But even though he speaks, no one believes him. So I'll stop here for today. continue. This is a very deep chapter, the ecstatic manifestations of Lord Chaitanya, but the actual... So what is showing Mahaprabhu's last years and the madness that he's constantly expressing out of separation from Krishna. So it's being given here. Actually, these verses that I'm saying, they're in the form of Bengali poetry. This is stanzas of poetry, and they're being expressed like that. Often in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it just goes along normal in what we would call rhyming couplets, the verses. But sometimes it goes, actually this is a form of poetry or the form of song, which Mahaprabhu is expressing. And when Mahaprabhu is in especially different parts where there's deep ecstasy being expressed by Mahaprabhu, it's expressed in the form of this poetry. And that's, the verses are like that. You can recognize those verses immediately when you see them.
But why you read Bengali?
Why not?
It's easier.
What?
It's easier to follow the whole story if you just read English.
I will never do that.
Why?
Why you ask me? I will edit this part out of what I'm saying. It is not a proper question for me. I read Bengali. If you don't want to hear the Bengali, don't come to the class. This is a nonsense question, really.
Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why you keep asking why?
What?
Don't ask. I'm broadcasting this. This is the way I broadcast. Don't interrupt me. Nonsense person. Why I read Bengali. I don't read it properly, but I like to read it. Is that a problem?
No. But I say we don't know Bengali.
So what? You don't even know English.
Right.
So then why read anything? Why should I read anything? Why shouldn't we just all sleep or just sing songs that we don't understand? Why you sing songs? They're all in Bengali. Why do you sing them? All the songs that you like to sing are in Bengali. Why do you sing them?
Okay. Anyway, it was a matter of discussion. Why you were angry with that?
Because I don't like the question. And I don't like to be interrupted in the class when I'm reading, even though I'm reading Bengali. Why don't you just sing all the songs in English?
Bhakti-lila was asking a question before.
What was her question?